Hey, Pammy.
Hi, Brooke.
We're letting people know that this is a 3-parter.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Our guest has a couple phases of wedding stories to tell.
So much good stuff. We could not fit it into 1 or 2.
No, which we just had to keep going. We didn't want to cut it down and make it short. So definitely look forward to that. But before we get into the podcast, we have to announce our winner for the book giveaway.
Yes,
we via
have
Facebook.
A winner.
Yes. Yep. So this is the person that is going to win a copy of Without a Hitch, which is a cute little novel that came out recently. And the lovely people at Harper Muse Publications gave us a couple copies. So Pammy, do you want to read the person that we randomly selected from our Facebook post?
Yes. Erica Bond. She wrote, would love to win this book and have a great summer read. I love your podcast so much and recommend it to anyone and everyone who will listen. Aw, thank you so much.
Thanks,
and
Erica.
Enjoy the book. It's so fun.
Yes, we'll be reaching out to you via Facebook to get your address and we will ship it on out your way. And stay tuned next week because we have even more exciting things for you guys.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Secrets. Also, a reminder that since this is broken up to a couple parts, Pam and I are going to be back at the end of the episode to give you some bridal breaks.
Yep. Not going to let you down.
Nope. So let's begin part 1 with our fun conversation with Ruchi Sabat. You ready?
Yeah.
Something borrowed, something blue. Give us all your juicy news. Sensational, irrational. It's Wedding Confessionals.
Welcome to another episode of Wedding Confessionals. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Pam.
And the only thing we love more than weddings
is talking about weddings.
So Pam, I'm very excited about our guest.
Oh my gosh, me too.
We have a COVID-era bride turned wedding planner.
Yes.
It's like a 1-2 punch.
I'm so excited to hear the story.
We're going to hear about her own wedding. We're going to hear about becoming a planner.
Yes.
And specifically, she specializes in Indian weddings in the United States.
Yes.
So I can't wait to learn more about this gal.
Me too.
Learn more about her world. So let us introduce our guest, Ruchi Sabat. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me, Brooke and Pam. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Yes.
So when we briefly started talking, I thought originally we were just going to start chatting about specifically you as a wedding planner. And then we got into the whole thing with the fact that you are a recent bride. So we are really excited to get into all of it. Mm-hmm. We always start way back.
Way.
Pammy, hit her with the first question.
When did you go to your very first wedding? How old were you?
Wow, this is a throwback. I think so. Technically, I think the first wedding I went to was when I was like 2 years old. I remember I've seen pictures of myself and my uncle's wedding when I was 2 years old. But the first wedding I can remember is when I was 6 years old. My dad's best friend from business school got married in Santa Barbara, and I was the flower girl. And like fun fact, the mother of the bride had made me this like beautiful flower crown made of artificial flowers. And I like was obsessed with it. Like I thought I was just like the fairy princess queen of the world when I was 6 years old. And I actually saved the crown for like 25 plus years. And then last year I wore it during one of my own wedding events during my bridal shower. And the bride of that bride, like so many years ago, she was there and she she was like crying, and my mom didn't even know I had it, and like they were like so overcome.
I think that
I
says
love this answer.
so much.
I love this answer.
Yes. You knew it started when you were 6. This love of weddings.
This is
I remember
say that.
Yeah, I remember when my mom used to go to India when I was like literally in elementary school, and like she would ask me like, my grandma would call me and be like, what should I send for you? What should I send for you? And most kids say like, chocolate or like jewelry or like a doll. And I always like send wedding magazines. I literally have wedding
Yes.
I have bridal magazines from India from like as early as like 1998 that I held on to for years.
I love, first of all, that you're a little bit of a pack rat, as am I. There's certain things I just cannot let go of. As much as I've moved throughout my life, there's just like some that I'm just like, nope, this is traveling. Put it in another box.
Wedding stuff I can't let go of until I discovered Pinterest, and then the game changed.
But you still have some of those magazines then.
I remember when I got engaged, I was like looking through my stuff. I found like 2 of them. Yeah. I used to have like a huge collection.
Oh my gosh,
that's amazing. So you're a little girl. You love being in weddings. You got stuck by that wedding bug. It just bit you real hard when you were little. Did you go to a lot of weddings when you were a kid? Like, do you have a big family? What was it like for you?
I didn't go to a lot of weddings as a kid. My entire family is in India, and I remember making it to 3 weddings. Well, one of them when I was a kid. The other 2 I was like in college. That wouldn't really count that as being a kid. I remember those really, really distinctly because I traveled for them. I did go to a lot of weddings growing up and just in family friend communities and stuff like that. And they were all Indian weddings. I have been to very, very few like traditional Western weddings. Even now when one of my friends gets married and it's not an Indian wedding, I'm always like stressed out. Like, what is the etiquette? Like, can I be late? Or like, is there going to be like plated dinners? Like, this is so weird. Like, yeah.
That's funny because on my list, and we'll get to it, one of my questions is going to be etiquette for specifically Indian weddings to make sure that people that are new to them, like, what are they going to do to not be rude? So I love that we're on the same end of like being kind of sweaty and nervous and being like, I don't want to offend people. You were right. Don't show up a little early. I think that was a smart move.
Yeah. Indian weddings, you show up like a little late. You're not supposed to show up a little early because the host is going to be like, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm the corny aspect. I'm early everywhere.
Yes, she is.
It's true. I'm always the early person. And I married a man who is perpetually 15 minutes late. And it's only because he's so handsome that I've made it work. Because good God.
Yeah, I can do my makeup faster than my husband can change his clothes. And I'm always ready before him. It never makes sense to me.
Okay, so we've moved through your little kid experience with weddings. You just mentioned in college. So since college and beyond, have you been in a lot of weddings? Like, have you been a bridesmaid or anything like that?
I've been a bridesmaid a couple of times. Both are like all like the few times I've done, it's always been in an Indian wedding. Which is interesting because traditionally we don't have like Indian weddings. We don't have bridesmaids. It's a completely made up Western thing that we've just like pretended to adapt into Indian weddings here in America. But yeah, I've been a bridesmaid a few times. Yeah, I think like in my adulthood, I've been to a lot of weddings. I remember in 2018, I was invited to 18 weddings. I did not go to most of them. Yeah, I did not go to most of them because that is very expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, because, I obviously got invited by my friends, but then got invited by like my parents, friends, kids who I like don't know, like a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's super fun. I feel like my friends are always like, oh, you must be so sick of weddings now because like you plan weddings. I'm like, no, like because I plan weddings, I'm more excited to attend weddings. When I'm planning weddings, I'm like, man, I want to drink or like I want to dance to my favorite song, but I can't do that.
That's true.
Totally.
Yeah, you're working.
I mean, also they're just fun.
They are fun.
Weddings are fun. Yeah, like who doesn't love a wedding?
Yeah.
We're fans.
I mean, clearly.
Okay, so I want to get into your wedding. First of all, what's your husband's name?
Siddesh.
How did you meet him? Tell us everything.
We actually met on an Indian dating app. It's like the Indian Tinder.
What's it called? What's the name of the app?
It's an app called Dilmil, Dilmil, and it translates to hearts meet in Hindi.
Oh, well, I love that. So what was it about his profile that you were like, okay?
He tells the story way better than I do because he remembers what his profile said, what my profile said. I don't. I just thought he looked nice. I'm pretty sure. I just thought he looked nice. I sent the first message. Yeah, and then from there it was history.
Did you go out on a first? Did you talk a lot on the phone first, or was it like, boom, we're going on a date?
Okay, so by the time I met my husband, I had been using dating apps for many years, and I had kind of it down to a science. Yeah, so I had a rule, like I will not go out on a date unless I talk on the phone first a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times where like I'll go on a date with a guy from my dating app, but in the first 2 minutes, I hate them and I want to leave. And it's like, I've wasted money on my Uber. I've wasted makeup. I've wasted the laundry of a really cute outfit. Like, it's just not worth it. I can't invest.
No, it's
That
true.
makes
Yeah,
so much sense. Yeah.
When I went out with my husband, our first date was the day after I had attended like an Indian convention where people are meant to meet each other to date. So I like literally went to this like convention, which is very actually normal for Indian people. So it was my first time ever going. I went to the convention. I did like the speed dating. It was really fun. Didn't like make a love connection, but it was really fun. And then I went out with my husband like the very next day. That was our first date.
Oh, wow. And was it immediate? You were like, ooh, this guy, I like his style. Like, this is working.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to think so. Looking back now, I feel like we always kind of idealize things, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So how much time was there between the first date and you guys talking about getting married?
This is so embarrassing. So again, as I mentioned, I had been on dating apps for a very long time when I met my husband. Very jaded, had it down to a science. I told him at the end of our first date, I was like, and it wasn't like random. Like we had a very long first date. We got drinks and then we got dinner and then we got more drinks. And it was like this like 6-7 hour night. It was really fun. He ended up walking into my apartment. We like hung out we just like sat on the stairs in front and hung out for a while. And I mean, I feel like it was organic, but maybe it wasn't. But I had told him on literally our first date, I was like, I really want to get married. Like, if you don't want to, that's okay. But like, don't date me then. I'm not the right person to date if you don't want to get married, because I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't believe you need like years of dating to get engaged. That's totally the path for some people. I don't think that's my path. So like, if you're like, yeah, I'd like to get married like sometime in the future, like, no, like we should just walk away now. Yeah. So it was literally on the first date.
And what did he say? Was he cool with it?
He acted cool with it, but he's told me since then that it was like a huge turnoff and very freaky. I disagree with, because I didn't say like I want to marry you like now. I said I want to get married in general, and if you don't want to, that's totally cool. You find someone else.
Which I think it says how cute you are that you could get away with being like,
yes.
in his brain,
like,
okay.
Okay.
Red flag, but like she's cute, so I'm gonna keep doing this. Okay, so after that first date of you being like, I'm getting married, damn it. How long was it did you actually get engaged? How long was the dating period?
We dated for 1.5 years. So we moved in together a year later, and then we dated for 6 more months after we moved in, and got engaged 1.5 years later. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So pretty long. Like I will say, I thought maybe it was like a quick
it felt
turnaround.
long to me.
Yeah.
Felt long to me.
That was basically my timeline.
Yeah, see? You're doing fine. Don't worry about it, man.
I mean, yeah. Definitely not worried about it now.
So tell us about the proposal.
Yeah, so my favorite show is The Bachelor, and we watched it together a lot. It was like kind of our thing. So he staged like a final rose ceremony at the palace. Yeah. So one of my girlfriends brought me over, and I saw like a row of contestants, which were like my 3 best friends. And then I saw him, and there was like roses and candles everywhere, and there was a violin player. And then my brother-in-law, his brother, was dressed in a suit pretending to be Chris Harrison and read this whole script. He was, like,
oh my god!
And he called each girl, other contestant up again. These were my best friends. So he like called each one up, and he like held their hands and was like, "I can't marry you. You do not get my final rose." and then I was like last in line. So then when I came up, he like made this whole spiel. He got on his knee. He gave me the final rose, and then he proposed.
Oh my! Was this videotaped? Do you have this?
It was not videotaped, but I have a lot. He had a photographer there, so we have.
If cool, please send us a picture, because that sounds amazing.
Yes.
I have many photos of it.
Oh my god, that is fantastic.
He did good.
I know, that is really good. final rose. And actually like a successful marriage, because a lot of times those situations.
I know.
Don't make it.
Yeah, we're better than most of the Bachelor couples for sure.
At this point, how many of them are still the original couple that like the original
Trista.
Bachelor? Yeah, Trista's still with her guy.
No, but she was the original Bachelorette, but there was like 10 seasons of The Bachelor before that where like they were totally unsuccessful. I mean,
Yes.
the success rate is very low.
Yes. That's why they kept going back to the ladies, because they're like, well, we have a little more success with the ladies than we do the dudes.
Yeah. Isn't there a recent engagement from somebody in the Batch world?
Yes. Becca recently she proposed to him. She proposed to Thomas.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Even though I don't watch all the time, I still am like, I think like just from what I follow on Instagram, I'm always like getting the Batch info.
Yeah, I'm like still pretty deep into Bachelor Nation.
Here in Batch Nation. Yeah, because it's like, how many hours of television is it a week when it's on?
When Bachelor in Paradise is on, it's like 4 hours a week. It's intense.
I can't judge. I watch Love Island UK, which is going to be 4 or 5 hours a week, and they've extended it from 6 weeks to 8 weeks this summer. It's already started in the UK. Our British listeners, I'm so jealous. It's going to be on Hulu in the US in like a couple weeks, and I cannot wait. So after the proposal, how quickly are you, the girl who's obsessed with weddings, how quickly are you diving into the wedding planning?
So I'm like literally crazy. Like I'm like an actual crazy person. I actually scheduled our venue tour before he proposed, and it was great timing because when he proposed, the venue tour was in 2 days. So it was like perfect timing. And this was like the venue I got married at was like my dream venue. I only wanted to get married there. There was no other options I was willing to consider or look at. And that was pretty much the decision was made.
Did he know
Before
about
the proposal.
I was just to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did he know that you had that tour planned?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knew, and all of our parents knew. Like I just scheduled it. I was like, listen, guys, this is taking forever. I'm just gonna schedule this venue tour. We're gonna go there together, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, logistics, man. What's the name of the venue, this dream venue?
It's called Hayes Mansion. It's a historical hotel here in the Bay Area. Historic.
Sounds nice.
Okay. So you then immediately lock in that as your location. Are you trying to figure out then how many people to invite?
For Indian weddings, your families kind of decide how many people you're going to invite. It wasn't really up to us. They decided, and also in not so much in my husband's family, but in my family, his are like the elders in my family, they don't believe in long engagements because most people I didn't, but most people have arranged marriages, and then because you don't know each other, everyone's like super like they want it to happen very quickly so you can like get to the stage where you're like allowed to live together and be together and get to know each other. So people all have short engagements. So my original engagement was only planned to be like 7 months long, which is like honestly a very normal timeline for someone of my community. And I tell my couples now, I'm like, it's not weird to have a short engagement. Things actually get done like way quicker and easier because you're like, gotta make a decision. This is it.
Yeah.
Gotta keep moving. This is it. Gotta get on top of it. No time to waste.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot easier when I know this like is counterintuitive. I think shorter engagements are honestly kind of easier.
Because you don't
The pressure of time.
Yeah.
You don't have time to change your mind, or you just got to make a decision and go with it.
Also limits your options. Like,
yes,
these are the people that are available. These are venues that are available. Don't get overwhelmed by too many options.
That's true.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's like wild to me now, like when I work with couples and I'm like, okay, let's book your photographer. And they want me to find them like 30 photographers. They'll reach out to like 20 out of 30. Then like 15 out of the 20 will be available. Then they'll schedule calls with like 10 of them. I'm like, this is horrible. Like when I got married, I didn't have a lot of time. My wedding planner gave me the name of 2 photographers. I talked to both of them and I just picked the one that she liked better. Like that was it.
I love it.
That's smart.
When it was all said and done, you have the venue, you have the short engagement period. Originally, how many people the parents decide was going to end up being? Did you know it was going to be a big wedding?
Yeah. So originally, I think we were going to have 350.
Yeah,
which is like mid-size Indian wedding.
So
Okay.
tell everybody, what was your original date?
Our original date, so we got it this our bachelor proposal happened in January, and our original date was supposed to be in August of 2020.
Oh, so you got
Wah,
engaged in
wah.
January 2020.
I am a true COVID bride. Like,
Wow.
like true COVID. Like, COVID happened like to me when I did not know about it.
Yeah. Wow. So you really were like, I want to have a quick turnaround, efficiency, let's get this done. And then the universe said, no,
No.
ma'am.
But you know what? COVID happened like only 2 months after my engagement. But because I was in such a rush, because it was a short engagement, I had already had a lot of my vendors booked. I'd already booked honestly, I'd already booked like 75% of my vendors when COVID hit.
Wow.
So I was really lucky because, you know, when vendors started coming back and from COVID and like figuring things out, they all raised their prices. Their availability changed, like their policies kind of changed. I was very lucky. All of my vendors were available for my new date, and they all honored their original contract and pricing. And like, we were very, very lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is huge. So when in the process after, you know, we're hitting March, everyone thinks it's just going to be through Easter. We're all
2
just,
weeks.
yeah, everyone just hang out for 2 weeks, learn how to make bread. It'll be fine. At what point do you realize that I don't know if this original date is going to happen?
Oh my God. This is like painful to even talk
I know.
about.
I feel like I'm
I
making you
know.
I think
live through the trauma again, but I'm sorry.
no,
but I know.
it's okay. I think like the last week of April was when we made the decision to postpone. And we postponed from August 2020 to May 2021.
Okay.
And even then there was a lot of wrestling with that decision, but I'm pretty sure it was at the maybe like early May or end of April when we went forward with that. Yeah.
So what were you doing in the interim?
In the interim, it was really hard because I was actually supposed to go to India to do all my wedding shopping in March, which is when COVID hit. So thank God I didn't go, because I would have literally gotten like stuck there.
Yeah.
But I was like worried about like my shopping. I was like worried about like my clothes and stuff like that. So in the interim, I was trying to explore how to buy everything here and like here locally in the Bay Area. And I was like, okay, I can't go to India, which was like my dream to shop for my wedding clothes there. Like, let me explore local options. So that's really, I feel like that's like what I was doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like thinking on the bigger picture scale.
So did you ever
but-
contemplate doing like a smaller wedding or like a courthouse or something? It was never in your mind. You're like, I'm having this wedding.
So we actually did. We ended up getting legally married exactly 1 year before our postponed wedding date.
Oh, okay. Fun.
So we got legally married May 30th, and we had already postponed our big wedding to be May 30th, 2021. Yeah, so we did. It was just like the exact, like, it just like, you know, we were living in sin. It was very frowned upon. My mom was like very antsy about it, so she just like wanted us to be married. And we only told we told our parents, like our parents are with us, and then we only told like a couple of friends each. Yeah. And then at our reception a year later at our big wedding, we played like this video where it had the slideshow photos from like our elopement day and was like, surprise, it's not our wedding day, it's our 1 year anniversary day. Thanks for celebrating with us.
So what did you do for that elopement? What did you end up doing?
Yeah, it was actually really fun planning the elopement. I think the month of May, it gave me some purpose to like channel all of like my anger and upsetness. We did it. We live right outside of San Francisco in a suburb. And there it's on the water. So we went to like this little like walking trail, and I wore the dress I had ordered for my bridal shower, which wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So I wore that dress. I had that dress. I watched a lot of YouTube makeup tutorial videos about doing my own makeup, which I did not anticipate doing when I got married. But obviously I did my own makeup because of the heat of COVID. And we just, my brother-in-law got ordained. That was hard. It was just hard to get into a courthouse to get anything done at that time, because again, it just shut down. Things were crazy. So we managed to get him ordained. We managed to get a marriage license. And we just did like a little civil ceremony, like by the water. And then we had like a really nice like a fancy lunch back at our house after. It was just
Oh,
10 of us.
that's kind of
Yeah.
nice, though. Make the best
Yeah.
of a crap situation.
It was fun. Yeah, my big splurge of that day that I was excited about is there's this woman in the Bay Area that makes Disney themed artificial bouquets, and they are like freaking gorgeous. Like they're all to a different, you can like theme it however you want, like any Disney movie you want, and they have like big Mickey ears in them and like gorgeous like fake like of like the silk flowers, and then you get to pick the pins of the characters that you like.
Yeah.
So I had one of those like custom made for my like elopement day. So that was like my big like special thing I had that day.
That's so cute.
And you still have that, I'm guessing.
And I have it's nice to like, I have it. And it's like the centerpiece of our dining table. Like I'm still like obsessed with it.
Okay, we are going to need a picture of
Yep.
that.
Why? Yeah.
need to see that.
I have some really nice photos of it.
Oh, that's so cute. Do you remember the name of the floral silk florist person who does it?
Yeah. She's on Instagram and TikTok. Her handle is Belle of the Ball Bouquets.
Okay, cool. I
All
can't wait.
right.
I'm gonna be searching for
Checking
that.
that
Yeah,
out.
we're like sort of Disney adults. We're like Disney adult adjacent. We like
Yes.
Disney.
I love Disney.
Yeah.
I'm like a shameless Disney adult. Yeah.
I'm like we definitely partake in the Disney stuff.
100%.
Yeah. You can at least make an excuse now, Pam, because you
I
have
have
kids.
kids.
Now you're just
Yeah,
like,
I'm
I'm
like,
just being a mom at
no,
Disney.
They like it. No, it's me.
I'm like the childless adult. I'm like, I'm just here because this is cute.
Basically.
So you get through 2020. We start to get into 2021. It looks like everyone's going to get all vaccinated. You have your plans. Like how you said it was pretty easy to get these vendors like up and going. So like how was it like sort of surging back into all of this?
Yeah. So December of 2021, I like took a risk on my life and I still went to India to do my wedding shopping. No vaccine still, but I was like, I don't care. Like if I get COVID, I want to get like my outfit from like the place I always wanted to get it from. I'm like, I'm going for it. So that was really fun. When I went to India, things were actually better there than they were here, COVID wise. So it honestly felt like a breath of fresh air. I was able to like shop exactly like how I'd always dreamed of, like with my mom going to like a million tiny little boutiques, being very, very sweaty, but ultimately finding what I really wanted. And, while I was out there, I had my bridal shower there too. So that was really fun. It was like the only celebration that we could do with my family because we knew a lot of them wouldn't be able to come for the wedding because of COVID. So
Oh yeah.
we did
Yeah.
so we did it on like a really big scale, which was very fun for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
And did your
Yeah.
fiance go with you? You both traveled?
No. So at that time, only like overseas citizen holders could travel to India. And I am one of them, but he is not. So he did not, his like visa was not adequate to get him over there. Which is why we called it a bridal shower because it was just me and my parents were there. So yeah, we had like it was nice. It was really nice.
Okay, so you mentioned that you took the health risk to go to India to shop. Let's talk about the shopping. What did we buy? Go into detail.
So it honestly, I bought everything I possibly could take over just because it's so much cheaper. First of all, it's cheaper. Second of all, I can get things custom made like way easier. And third of all, I feel like it's a little bit nicer too. Although nowadays you can get stuff that's nice here. It's just very expensive. So not only did I buy like my outfits, I bought all of my accessories, all of like my hair accessories, all of my shoes, all of stuff like that. And then also like things there's a lot of gifting that happens in Indian weddings. We bought all of the gifts we gave to everyone, a lot of the gifts I gave to my bridesmaids, a lot of that kind of, and then we did buy some decor too. There's a lot of events in Indian weddings. It's kind of a week-long thing. So you have to decorate your house too. So we bought a lot of those decorations. Yeah, it was intense. It was a marathon. My dad was horrified.
How many suitcases did you take back to the US?
We all went at different times, and we even left a few of my relatives were able to come, and we knew they were going to come. So we left some stuff there. It just came piece by piece. We figured it out. I also had matching outfits made for my cat for a lot of the events. So, you know, I had to
More pictures.
prioritize what I could bring over.
I love how many picture requests. I'm like, gonna need a picture
Yeah,
of that as
gonna
well.
need a
Yeah. Oh my God. I have a couple of I have two really good pictures of us in matching outfits.
And remind the
Yes.
listeners, what is your cat's name?
Kim Kardashian.
So good. Kim Kardashian. So yeah, let's talk about the wedding week. Kind of walk us through the whole damn thing. I want to know everything, all the cat outfits.
Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I had my bridal shower in India. Then I had my bachelorette party in April. It's supposed to be at Disneyland. Obviously did not happen.
Yeah.
But it was still very, very fun and very, very special. But so that was April. And then in May, my family from India all came over. So 10 people came over. They stayed with my parents for 6 weeks. It was so fantastic. I was like just so lucky that they took the risk to come. My like grandma in her 80s was one of them. And I'm just forever grateful to them for coming for my wedding. And it was such a huge risk for them. So that puts us in May. So I guess the first event was a week before the wedding. My parents hosted like an opening prayer ceremony where it's like technically you're like invocating the deity to come like bless all the events. That's what it's kind of about. So that was really fun. That was my first event. And I also, again, like I'm crazy. So I had like made a Google spreadsheet where I planned out all of my outfits. And I was very set on wearing like a different color, a different neckline and like sleeve, and a different hairstyle and different type of jewelry for every single event I had, including like my engagement party and my event in India. Like I wanted and even my engagement photos, like I wanted everything to look very, very different. And I wanted to wear a different color and a different style and all that kind of stuff. So
I love this.
I mean, I love a good spreadsheet. So you had me at spreadsheet.
Pam does love a spreadsheet. Oh, real quick question. You mentioned before that it's not traditional to have a bridal party, but sometimes when you're in the US, you just decide to splurge and do it anyway. Did you have one or did you go solo?
Oh my God, no, I had a big one. We each had 10. We had a big bridal party.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
you got 350 people there. Why not? Get in double digits.
Okay,
She was
literally
invited to 18 weddings in one
Yeah,
year.
you're too popular. You
yes.
can't pick one
no,
person.
I actually this is what I tell people now. I'm like, your bridal party has to look proportional to your wedding size. So if you go to a wedding with 100 people and there's 20 people in the bridal party, like that is ridiculous. That's like all of your friends were there in the bridal party. Like that's weird. Like don't do that. And if you go to a wedding with like 500 people and there's like 2 people up with you, like that also doesn't, I don't know. I just feel like it should look proportional. I hate saying like, oh, this is wrong and this is right, because as a wedding planner, you have to like support everything. But I do feel like your bridal party should somewhat be in proportion to your wedding size.
That's
a good
so
tip.
fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So after the first day, you're on to the second day.
So that was a Saturday. Then we had like 2 days of like nothing in between. Then we had a ceremony where, so this is now going to like differ. Every community in India does this a little bit differently. And my husband is actually from a different community than me. So they do stuff differently too. But this is like my, like the bride, this is like bride's wedding week. Groom's wedding week is like different. So the next event for me was, we have a ceremony where like 7 married ladies, like basically we like have a ceremony where they all like bless me. I have to like cook something with them. So that was like the second ceremony I did.
Who picks the women that are going to be part of this? Your
my
mom?
mom.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah. I don't know anything. I had one of my friends who was already married came into town early enough to be there, which was really, really nice to like have a friend with me for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that was the next event. And then the day after that was like, so then now we're like in like the main, like the semi-main events. So these are also like only the bride side, but they're like kind of bigger. Like we have like a real photographer there. Like, the next event is called the Haldi ceremony. Haldi means turmeric. So, and you might have seen pictures of this ceremony where basically the bride or the groom, or the bride and the groom, they sit in the middle and their family and friends like rub a turmeric paste like all over their bodies.
Yeah.
And turmeric has like anti-inflammatory properties. It's really good for your skin, gives you a natural glow. So that's the reason we do that. So I had that the next morning, and that was really, that was like, again, like kind of one of the more major events. So that was really, really fun. Like my wedding planner planned like my main events at the venue, but all of the home events I planned. So that was a really, really fun one to do. The bride has to wear yellow. So like I designed my own outfit, and it's like a daytime event. It's supposed to be fun. So I made everyone wear like matching sunglasses and like matching flower crowns. And like they did like a lavender petal shower on me. And I had my cat there in a stroller next to me the whole time. She had to be a part of it.
Yes.
And we had margarita pops, and like, yeah, that was like a really fun one.
That's cool. This cat kills me.
I know. I love it.
And then the day after that, I had like I got my henna done. So you guys have probably seen like bridal henna, like it goes like all the way up to your elbows and it's on your feet. So it takes the whole day. Like I think mine started in the morning, and I think it took 8 hours to complete. You're literally just sitting there for 8 hours.
You cannot move.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take breaks to like go to the bath. Like, I mean, within reason you can move, but like, you're not supposed to.
Well, you have to be still because they're, intricate.
You have to be still. Yeah. And because like I had like a formal party that night, like right after my henna was done, like I had like a party where like all of my guests were there, and like the artist then did henna on them. So I actually put on my party outfit like in the morning before I got my henna done. So, and I got my hair and makeup done as I was getting my henna done. So it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like you're like me, Ruchi, and you talk with your hands a lot. So I can just imagine having to like be still. It's like a nightmare. It's like whenever I get my hair cut, the part where they're actually cutting the hair, I always have to be like, all right, Brooke, now you have to stop being animated.
I love that. And I know for me towards the end, it takes so long. I remember the last hour, like my party had started, all of my guests were there, but I couldn't be with them because I was still stuck inside getting my henna done.
Oh no.
And I was telling the artist, I was like, just go as fast as you can, just go as fast. And she was like, I feel like I'm on like the Amazing Race, like reality show. For, like, go faster. Like I was so over it. And my family was like, oh, like she should fix that. And I was like, nope, it looks great. No one's gonna see it. Like I want to walk around. I want to like see all my friends. Like that was like the first event where like out of towners and stuff were. That was like 75 people. So like all of our out of town guests were mostly like my out of town guests were mostly at that event. So that was like a bigger event too.
Oh, that's fun.
I know.
Oh.
I love all these events. Okay.
I'm so excited. Yes, please
so that was
keep
like the
going.
wedding week that like took part like before the main event. So that was like all the wedding. That was like those were like all the events that happened
at the pre-show.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're to the main event.
That was the pre-show. Then the next day we like all went to the venue. Then like the real stuff started. So again, like not to generalize, not most. I would say many Indian weddings here in America. There's 3 like major main events. The first one happens the night before the wedding. It's called the Sangeet. So the word Sangeet literally translates to like singing and dancing. So it's mostly like the core purpose of the night is to like watch like choreographed dance performances. Like a lot of people perform dance performances, and the friends perform and family performs, and that's kind of like the point of the night. So that was the night before our wedding, and hands down the best event out of every single event, better than the wedding or reception. It was like the most fun event because it's the first one at the venue, so it's it's very, very pretty, and it's more like colorful and more traditional. So like we had a bunch of different food stations. We had a lot of Bollywood themed decor. Our centerpieces were like little mini Bollywood posters. And then we had big Bollywood poster cutouts where people could put their heads in it and like pretend like
I love it. Yeah,
we had a lot of that. And so in Hindu ceremonies, we don't exchange wedding bands. That's not part of our ceremony. But obviously, again, since we're in America, like everyone, we want to wear wedding bands. Like that's what's normal for us. So we exchanged our wedding bands at that event. We started that event by exchanging our wedding bands, and then we did like there was the dance performances, and then we have like an open dance floor, like reception style, and an open bar. And it was really, really fun. The first half of those events is hard because you're so nervous for your performance. The night of my own Sangeet, I was in 6 dance performances.
Whoa.
And I was so it's just a lot of choreography to memorize. Your bridesmaids have memorized it. Your parents are doing a dance. Like everyone's like, oh my God, I hope I don't forget anything. So once the performances are over, then like everyone like chills out.
Oh my God, it sounds so fun.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really fun. And I feel like most people pick the songs that they perform to based on like, just like whatever like the top 40 new Bollywood song is at the time or whatever's popular. But I didn't do that, which actually is bad. You're supposed to pick really popular songs so the people you're dancing with know them really well. So it's easier to remember the choreography if you know the song.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I wanted to pick like deep cuts like from my childhood. Like I picked this like I picked like a folk song from like my ancestral like village region. So like a very, very old song. Then I picked a song by like my favorite Bollywood artist, like from like the early 90s. It was kind of a deep cut. And then I picked a Nicki Minaj song because she's my favorite artist like when I was a teen.
Known
so
Bollywood star
Yes.
Nicki Minaj.
Yes, basically. So tried to make them like a little meaningful.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
fun.
That's really fun. I like that.
Oh man. Oh, man, I want to see all of this. Like I gotta get pictures. This deep album we're gonna have to get from her. Like, give me another
I
one.
know. I
Another
want to see
one.
all the outfits now that I've heard
Yeah,
of this spreadsheet.
Did Kim participate in the choreography?
No, we thought we debated taking her to the venue. The hotel did allow pets, and we like thought about it a lot, but we just decided she would be happier like being left alone.
Yeah, that's fair. Kim needs her space.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a lot
she
to think
does.
about, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's chill the responsibility of that. It's true. So what happened next?
So now we're on the wedding day.
Okay.
I had to wake up at 4 a.m. I was so hungover from the night before. Like I remember like my mom and my aunt waking me up and they're like, it's time for hair and makeup. And I was like, I can get married in my pajamas. I just kept saying that over and over again. I was like, I just want to get married in my pajamas. Like I don't want to do it.
We know after all the spreadsheet details that is not true.
So got my hair and makeup done. Then we did like the bridesmaids row pictures of the getting ready. I mean, like very similar. Like did the getting ready pictures with my parents, and then we did the first look. And then the part where it starts to get different is after we did like our bridal party photos, when it's like time for stuff to start. So in Hindu weddings, the groom makes like like a formal entrance, and it's called a barat. So in that part of the wedding, he like dances in with all of the guests in the wedding party. And I'm not there for that. So my wedding planner put me in a room where I had a view of what was happening, but I'm not supposed to participate in that. I'm like hidden away. So my husband chose to ride in like a Porsche, he took like the top off and he was like dancing around in it. His groomsmen like lit up color bombs, so they was like really nice and colorful. And
Nice.
my bridesmaids gave everyone like pins that said like girl side or boy side. So that was really cute. So they all like danced in like those videos. I wasn't there, so like it was really. I like love looking at those photos because I want to see what happened. And then at like the entrance of like where like the altar is, then like my family is there to like greet him, and they like invite him in with his family to come into the ceremony site essentially. At our ceremony site, again, I wanted to do something really personal, so instead of having like a floral something at the beginning of it, we had a table that was covered in books and like little toy cars. My husband's obsessed with cars, so he had like a collection of like model cars, and I love reading, so I had like a stack of like all of my favorite books. And he had a picture of like him in front of his first car, and then I had a Jane Austen quote. It's like one of my favorite authors. We had that framed on either side of the table.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
it was nice.
have a question. Is the ceremony, you said how you woke up super early. Like what time of the day does the festivities start?
So it started at 10:30, I believe. And we served breakfast beforehand, but that was pretty informal.
Okay. So this is an all day
affair. Yeah.
It's an all-day affair, yeah. It started at 10:30. So then the groom comes, he like goes to the altar, all this stuff, and then that's when I come in. So when I like my entrance, we my husband contributed very little to the wedding planning. One of his major contributions was that
Just want to stick that in there really quick to let everybody know.
He was very attached to our ceremony musician. He had seen this musician play at our friend's wedding like years before, and like literally, I remember we went to this wedding. We weren't even engaged, and he was like, "That guy's gonna play at our wedding ceremony." And I was like, "We're not even engaged," and he did. We ended up hiring him. She says while
scheduling the venue walkthrough.
No, I wasn't that far there yet, but he's based in Orange County. So we had him come up from Orange County, which was really nice of him. So it's really cool. He plays a sitar, which is an Indian instrument, but he plays like pop songs and like rap songs on this like Indian instrument.
Rad.
That's fun.
What is his name?
His name is Ranabir Lahiri. He's like at every Indian wedding in LA. So we like got him up to the Bay for this, which was super fun.
Nice.
And he played a Beyonce song like on his sitar, that like my favorite Beyonce song that I like walked down the aisle to. And then
which song?
Halo by Beyonce.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah. And a lot of Indian brides, we come down the aisle under a sheet of flowers, like fake, mine were fake flowers, but like basically there's 4 people like holding this sheet over my head, and then I walk under it with my dad and I like hold my bouquet. So that's what I ended up doing. Again, like stuff like bridesmaids walking down the aisle, bouquets, like none of this is traditional for us. This is just all like Western stuff that we like to do because we're really extra. So there's no like norm of like, oh, in an Indian wedding, the bride, like she'll have a bouquet, she'll come down with her dad, like she'll have grooms, like it's really like whatever you want. Like you just kind of pick and choose the traditions that you want to do. So that's what I wanted to do.
Well, yeah, you mentioned too, like a lot of times when you're dealing with an Indian wedding in the US that, you know, the 2 people getting married, one might not even be Indian, or if you both are Indian, you're coming from these different regions. There's so many different traditions that you really do just have to write your own story.
Yeah, and then plus we have our American traditions that we want to do too. You know, we want to have it all.
Put it all in there. Give me that ring.
Totally, yeah. So we did that. Our wedding was on a very, very hot day, and canopy draping over our guest was very, very expensive. So the way we mitigated it is we served like cold drinks throughout the ceremony, and then our ceremony was very short. It was most Indian weddings, I would say, are an average of 2 hours long. Ours was like 45 minutes. And that was what we did to like protect our guests from the heat. And we put like sunscreen in everyone's like hotel room bags. And yeah, we tried, but it was very hot.
So the ceremony itself was outdoors. Afterwards, are you going indoors or are you staying out for the whole time?
Okay. So after the ceremony, you know, we do the processional, and then there's a ceremony post the wedding ceremony called the Vidai. And Vidai means like the send off of the daughter. So like back in the day, the ceremony would literally be the parents saying goodbye to their daughter and putting her in a car to send her to her husband's house. And like, you know, she was like going to go live there for the first time ever away from them. And it's like very, very sad and everyone cries. Now it's different. Like you get in the car and you drive around the block for some photos and then you come back and like you're there. And it's still like emotional. Like my mom was like crying the entire week, but she like cried a lot. And like my grandma, like, you know, like they hug you and they put you in the car and then they like push the car and like it's like very, very Bollywood drama. That's what we did after our ceremony. Most of our guests went to eat. We served lunch indoors because we knew they'd be done by that point. So most of our guests went to lunch, and then our family stayed back to like do that part.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then afterwards, we ate lunch, and then it was right back into hair and makeup. And
yes.
At that point, it was like my 7th time getting my hair and makeup done like in a week, and I was like, I hate this shit. Like I'm so done. My hair and makeup artist was like a godsend angel, like both of them. So they like really put up with me, but I was like, I don't care what it looks
like. Well, like according to the spreadsheet, ma'am.
I know.
This is what we're doing next.
I actually fell asleep when they were doing my hair and makeup. So they're like, you know what? Why don't you take a nap? We'll be back in like 45 minutes. And I was like, okay.
Aww.
Sometimes you get tuckered out. You were up at 4 a.m., man.
Yes.
Hungover.
Very hungover. I didn't even do the champagne toast I'd like planned with my bridesmaids that morning.
Like,
We just held the bottle for some photos, and then I was like, I don't want to drink this.
Fair.
So yeah, so I was in hair and makeup, and then my husband did like a photo shoot with his groomsmen that like I didn't even know was happening. They did like a very elaborate like groomsmen plus groom photo shoot while I was getting my hair and makeup done again.
Love it. So what happened next?
Then we had our photos taken. Our parents were very adamant that they did not want to be a part of like the pre-reception photos because they were like so over being in photos and posing for photos at this point. They're like, we want to go to cocktail hour. We want to have cocktails. We want to get appetizers. We want to talk to our guests. Like, we don't want to be like in another photo session, like stuck with you guys. We're like, okay.
There are 350 people I want to talk to that aren't you two.
No. That 350 was the pre-COVID number. We didn't end up having 350.
Oh yeah. What did you end up with?
We ended up having 220, like 215 to 220.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still respectable. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, we were lucky. It was enough to have a party, which is all that matters.
So the drop from 350 to 220 was really mostly the people that weren't traveling. Is that how it worked?
We like had to weed people based out on like who we liked.
It was okay. Hard. You decided to scale down.
Feelings were very hurt. It was very different. I feel like I'm like still like some friendships are still recovering from that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's really
hard. Yeah, COVID is hard.
Yeah, and like having to make these decisions, you're like, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun for me. Yeah,
I know.
I know that's one thing that literally everyone listening goes through because it's tough.
It is, yeah.
Making those cuts. Yep.
Okay, sorry. Getting back to your reception. Yes.
Yeah. So the guests went to cocktail hour. We had signature drinks. One of them was, of course, the Kim Kardashian, which was like the most popular one. That's the one that like everyone got, I was told.
What was in a Kim Kardashian?
The Kim Kardashian.
Sorry, Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
It was just a margarita. We just put her picture on it. People over it. We just had like a cute sign up, which I have the sign. I still have the sign, and I have it on our home bar now.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
So and then the reception, you know, similar to like a Western reception, the guests go to their tables, and then the DJ announces. So we had an Indian a cappella group perform at our reception, and they like sang us in when we entered. So that was really
fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. And then they did like a really like nice performance. They performed like a set of songs, and then they left. And then after that, we had like after their performance was like normal reception stuff, speeches, first dance, father daughter dance, mother son dance, like all of that good stuff. And then a lot of Indian. I actually have never seen this at a Western wedding. This is very common in Indian weddings. We had our videographer make a same day edit, and he played it at the reception.
What?
It's very cool. Yeah, it was very cool. So it was like the edit from like my getting ready and like the ceremony, like the bridal party ceremony, and then even like cocktail hour, I think was in it. He just like made it right before.
Just an instant replay.
And then the night before, yeah, like all the Sangeet and the Sangeet dances and all of that, like that was in it.
Oh, that is fun.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Just back on that laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played that. We played like our special elopement video where we were like surprised, like we're already married. Yeah, and then thank God the program was over. The photo booth opened. We had an ice cream cart that opened. Like we finally got to talk to our friends, and then dance floor, drinking, normal reception stuff. And then our hotel actually has an underground bar, which was used as like a real speakeasy, like in the 1920s.
Yeah.
So we had rented that out for our after party. So then
how late into the night are we getting to this after party in the speakeasy?
So the reception ended at 12. And then the after party, I think we had the after party from 12 to 2. I did not stay long. I only stayed for like 45 minutes, and I was like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you made a cameo, and you're like, I've been up since 4. I'm good.
I was told that after like the speakeasy bar, then they went to like a hotel room and like continued like till I don't know. I was not there for any of that.
That is a good time.
I went to my room and ate and microwaved some like ramen noodles. That's how I ended the night.
Did you actually eat at the reception? Or were you too like busy and nervous?
No, we ate across all of our events. I remember eating, we ate lunch really well because we ate lunch in our suite, like after the ceremony, our wedding planner brought us. Then we ate at like a big lunch, but at the all the food at the actual events, we did not eat very much of. I remember I did eat some ice cream from the ice cream cart because I really wanted to do that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of memory of the food, but I did.
Just the ramen.
Yeah, but I was very specific about the snacks I put in my suite, and then we put a lot of snacks in everyone's like hotel welcome bags. And one of them, there's this really popular brand of Indian ramen noodles called Maggi noodles.
Okay.
And we had put individual ramen cups. We had put like 2 in each person's hotel room bag.
And that's what you ate?
That's what I ate. But I also it's funny. We were talking about this last week. The other thing I ate most during the wedding weekend was I had a huge pack of Uncrustables, like the PB and like the Smuckers. They're like a really good snack because like it's carby, it's protein, it's sweet,
little
so it gives
sweet,
you energy.
salty.
It's like always desirable. Like you always kind of want to eat one. Like you're never gonna be like not in the mood for one. So like even if you're having like a lot of adrenaline, like you'll be like, yeah, I could eat like a little Uncrustable. I
slammed down this Uncrustable.
I did. I threw back a lot of Uncrustables that weekend. A lot of Uncrustables and coconut water.
That's what powered you for the whole week.
Yeah.
So you finally fall asleep at like 2 a.m. You're covered in your ramen noodle and Uncrustables. So the next morning you have another event, right?
Yeah. So the next morning we have another event. The next morning, but we have to like leave. We had to leave the hotel, which was horrible because my room looked like a disaster. Like my suite looked like a disaster zone. So I woke up the next morning very early. I called like my aunts and cousins and I was like, you need to come here and pack my room like while I go to breakfast. And that's exactly what they did. They skipped breakfast. They packed up they were like the little like mice in Cinderella. Like I came back and I was like, wow.
Aw,
That's nice.
Yeah.
I had breakfast, came back, went right back into hair and makeup.
God.
It was just like my friend who was doing it, and I felt looking back, I'm like, wow, I was like really mean to her because I really did not want to get my hair done that day. But did that, got like wore the new outfit, wore more jewelry, and then the event the day after is hosted by the son's family. Like it's called like a welcoming ceremony, so they welcome the daughter-in-law into their house. And it was a big event. It was like 75 to 100 people at my husband's family's house. So
that's nice.
And then it's fun. And then at that event, the morning after the wedding, you play a lot of games. So one of the most popular games is what they do is they have the couple sit down and they bring them a big bowl of milk, like a really big one. And then they put the bride's ring at the bottom of the bowl, and the couple has to dig for the milk. And whoever finds the ring first is the winner. That's like a really, really popular game.
Who won?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
He let me win.
That's nice.
So there's like 4 or 5 games you play like that. And then they serve lunch. And then people give you gifts, which is great. And then after that, then we had to go back to my parents' house for like a groom welcoming thing and like change into a different outfit. It was very rough. This is honestly this is meant for people like who don't have like 9-to-5 jobs where their boss is like, why did you take PTO? And like we had to go to work like the next day. It was horrible.
Oh my goodness.
That Monday.
Really
grueling.
Yeah.
it was very awful.
Oh.
So that was Sunday. That's the last of 2 events welcoming the
We
families.
got married Memorial Day weekend. It was actually
Monday.
it was Monday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pammy's Memorial Day weekend too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, that's so cool.
Yep.
It's a good weekend. It's a good one.
It's good.
It's like right when it's not too hot. Mm-mm. Well, apparently it was hot for you, but like,
yeah, it's very, very hot here.
Yeah, it's usually not too hot, and I like, we've discussed this on the podcast, but I like having a holiday weekend for weddings, giving that little extra buffer of days.
Yeah, it's a controversial opinion. Some people hate giving up their holiday. Yeah, it's 50-50, man. It's we did some polling before. So yeah. Hey, I got married on Labor Day weekend, so I'm for it. I don't care. You don't want to come? Don't come. And we're back.
Yes. Can you believe? I mean,
I'm obsessed.
I mean, there's 2 more episodes.
I can't wait for all the pictures.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, the big star in all of this is Kim Kardashian.
100%.
Kim.
Oh my gosh.
So we are now with Ruth. Pam is holding my dog currently.
Yeah.
So we will be getting into some bridal breaks for you guys. Bridal breaks, for any of our newer listeners, are suggestions we give not only to brides, but to grooms or anyone else helping to plan a wedding of some things that have nothing to do with wedding planning. So step away from your stressful, never-ending, long
checklists, lists, more lists, and just relax.
Yes, with a bridal break. Yeah. Pammy usually does a cocktail. I do some pop culture-y things. I'm going to do 2 since there's no guest and because I'm always consuming stuff. Pammy, what is your bridal break?
So today's cocktail I found on xoxobella.com, and it just totally hit me as a perfect summer drink. It is a watermelon Paloma.
I just saw a watermelon in the store today and was like, oh, summer's here.
Yes.
Yes.
It's here. Let's get it going. So it's made with watermelon, diced up, orange juice, tequila, lime juice, sparkling water, and ice, and then put a little, you can salt the rim. You don't have to. It's not normal, I guess, with a Paloma, but adding a little tahini or something on the edge.
Yes, I like the on my Paloma because they're usually made with grapefruit, right? Mm-hmm. So this is like a sweeter version, less tart.
Yes.
Okay, cool. When the cubes, are we blending everything or the cubes are just end up kind of squishing together?
It is blended, this one.
Fun.
Yeah. Because you got the watermelon chunks in there.
That's why I'm always confused about watermelon drinks. I'm like, how do you do it? But yeah, blender's the answer.
Mm-hmm. Strain it and then pour it over ice.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Sign me up. So my bridal breaks for the week it's a combo. They're kind of related to each other. So I just recently watched on Hulu the romcom movie that just recently came out called Fire Island. It's the retelling of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. It's set on the gay vacation town of Fire Island. Stars Joel Kim Booster, I think is super funny. Bowen Yang from SNL, Matt Rogers, and Margaret Cho.
Nice.
Yeah. It's so funny. And also like the setting's just really beautiful. So I highly recommend it. The second bridal break is a song that is featured from the movie. In the movie, there's like a plot point where one of the characters like karaoke's Britney Spears' Sometimes. Remember, Sometimes I Run. Mm-hmm. So this band Muna, who I actually really like, they're kind of like a synthy pop band. Mm-hmm. They cover Britney's Sometimes. And it is so good.
All right.
Yeah, it really matched well in the movie. And just in general, it feels like a modern like redo of that song.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's really cute. So that's my bonus bridal break, my second bridal break is that song.
I love it.
Yeah, that's it. So now we've gone through our bridal breaks, Pammy. Do you know what's next?
Yes. My favorite part.
Is it? Is it your favorite? Is it when I grab my clipboard and torture my buddy about our podcast? Okay. So, Pamela, we have to tell all the listeners all the different ways they can get in contact with us. Mm-hmm. Let's start with our website, Pammy. What's our website?
weddingconfessionals.com.
From there, you can see all of our social media handles to follow us on social media. Where are we on social media?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and TikTok.
Also on there, you can find our show notes. So all of the links of anything that we're talking about on the shows will be found there. We would love for you guys to share your confessionals with us.
Keep them coming.
There are 3 different ways you can share your confessionals. They're always anonymous. One is an email. You can email us. What's our email address?
weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
You can leave us a voicemail. We just transcribe. We won't use your voice. We're keeping this very anonymous. Pammy, if they want to call in and rant via phone, what is the phone number?
434-933-2663.
What a pro. Besides that, you can go to our website, The Third Way, and click on a tab that says...
Tell us your secret.
Tell us your secret. It's a simple form, no email or phone number needed. Yeah. We don't really care about your information.
Nope.
We just want your drama.
Spill the tea.
Exactly. The top box, what do you put in the little top box?
Whatever you want. Fun little quote or anything that has to do with what you're saying or your name. You don't have to. We're not going to say it.
Yeah. And then the bottom box, what do you type in there?
Spilling the tea.
Give us all of the drama. We would love for you guys to give us 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Spotify now. Yeah.
You can't leave a written review like you can on Apple, which we also love because we just are obsessed with compliments. But you can hit 5 stars on Spotify, which they do not make well known. But now that we all know, we're telling you guys, so you can give us 5 stars on Spotify. Besides Apple Podcasts, Pammy, there are 2 podcast providers that start with the letter A. What are they?
Audible and Amazon.
2 with the letter C.
Castbox and Castro.
2 with the letter D.
Downcast and Deezer.
1 with the G.
Google.
1 with an I.
iHeartRadio.
1 with an O.
Overcast.
1 with an L.
Listen Notes.
And then we got 8 with a P. Good luck.
All right. Podbean.
Yes.
Podcast Addict. Podcast Republic. Podtail. Pod Paradise. Podcast Land. Did I already say that?
No, you have not. 2 left. You're out of
Player FM.
Yep.
And oh my God, what's the last one?
You know this.
I know I do. I'm totally blanking.
Oh, look, my dress has
A tear?
pockets.
Again? Oh,
Pocket cast.
pocket one.
And pot butt.
And now we've got pod tear and pod butt.
Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, and then using your voice, you can use Alexa and Siri by saying "Play the Wedding Confessionals podcast." You're pretty good. Pocket cast. I know, it's sneaky. So yeah, that's it for the quiz. And guys, stay tuned for part 2 where we get into wedding business stuff with Ruchi.
So good.
It's gonna be really good. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye. Special thanks to Andy Schreier for our adorable theme song.
And David Kantrowitz for our fantastic logo.
And Ramsey Millette and Brian Maylard for their technical support.
If you want to learn more about our show, where you gotta go, Pam?
Check out our website, weddingconfessionals.com.
That's it, girl. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.